Pat, we need to talk about the Bulls. They are, I won't say they're firmly in ninth. They're not firmly in ninth, but they're firmly in the play. Right now they are currently 31 and 40. They are game up on Miami, which means right now if the play-in starts today, they have a home court up in there, Atlanta or Orlando or on top of them by 2 games. Um, this annoying team because I wanted them to lose, but obviously they're not. They've been playing a lot more free since Zach LaVine has been traded. You're really starting to see Matas heat up. Same thing with Kobe. And Josh Giddey has been going crazy as well. But Pat, what is and I know like from when I say what's the path to them to becoming a top 6 team, not this year, obviously. And what I mean by top 6, I mean literally seed 6. I feel like the East is too good for the Bulls to even have a plan to get into the top 5. What do you think is going to be the plan for them this offseason? Because I think if they beat, I think they beat Miami this year in the play-in, but I don't think they can beat Orlando or Atlanta. If they did, they're gonna get swept by Cleveland or Boston. What do you think that what the plan should be coming into this offseason?
I mean, personally, I like what the Bulls got going on. Like, I've watched a few Bulls games recently. I watched the Bulls Lakers game. Obviously, I think that was kind of like a little bit of a admiration. Just like Bron's first game back or whatever. Like the Lakers just kind of look kind of like this interested in that game. But I also watched the Orlando game when Kobe White scored his career high. I think it was like 45. Like I think the Bulls, I think their mind state was let's try to lose, but the problem is they can't. Like you said, Josh Giddey has been stepping up. I think Josh Giddey had 17, 10, and 12. Josh Giddey was my pick for most improved player this season. Like Josh Giddey can play. I know, he's had his issues or whatever, but Josh Giddey can
Yeah,
play.
he had his
The
last game.
problem
He had 15, 17, and 8 steals.
like the problem with Josh Giddey in OKC was if I have Shea on the court, I'm gonna give Shea the ball. I'm not gonna give Josh Giddey the ball. That doesn't mean also because he can't shoot. That doesn't mean Josh Giddey can't play. Matas, first of what people know about Matas is if you looked at mock drafts like 2 years ago, Matas was the number 1 pick in the draft. He went to the G League. I think the G League Ignite. Sometimes like guys kind of get lost in the G League, right? Like we talking about March Madness. March Madness is a thing where if you have a good we've seen guys like for instance the main person I think about Tyrus Thomas. Tyrus
Oh
Thomas
yeah.
before he had that championship run was not the number 1 pick. He had that championship run and became the number 1 pick. So I think guys when you go to the G League sometimes you can kind of get lost in the shuffle. But if you look at mock drafts in like I want to say 2021, 2022, Matas was the number 1 pick in the draft. So, he's finally playing like he's playing way more free. That move he hit on Luka, granted, it was Luka, and Luka can't move his feet, but it was
Yeah.
still a crazy ass move. And Kobe White, bro, like Kobe was a guy to me that I always thought Kobe was like Lou Williams, right? And I still think Kobe is more so Lou Williams, but
And
what
then
if
he
he's
taller
more?
than Lou Will.
He's like, yeah, I think he's like
Yeah,
6'4".
like Kobe. People
Lou is
think
like
Kobe
6'4".
like 6'2". Kobe like
He's
Kobe
6'4".
6'5".
Yeah, facts. Yeah,
Yeah.
facts. Yeah. So like I think really for the Bulls internal growth, right? Like you got Billy Donovan. I don't want to say Billy Donovan is a college coach, but I think Billy Donovan does do better with young players. Yes, internal growth, right? Like you think that next year Mattis can come back and he can give you 16 points a night. You think Giddey is more comfortable, he can give you what he's gonna give you. You see if Kobe White can actually be a 20-point per game scorer every single night. And you still got Vucevic, like they have a solid core guy. Even like what's it, Dalen Terry? He's been playing much better. So like I think that when you move Zach out the way and you move some of these other pieces out the way, you kind of like empower the young guys and they're playing free. And again, I kind of like what they have going on. I think for a top 6 seed, I think it's gonna be tough, but I think it's gonna be tough just because the East in the next 2-3 years is gonna be a really, really good conference. So I think that might be tough, but I think that they can, just be at least a team that has something to say. And it's like when you come to Chicago, you're not just walking in there like, oh, I'm gonna just run through the Bulls at the UC.
They're not gonna be the get right game. Because you never want to be the get right game. I think the only issue I have here is Josh Giddey's gonna be looking for a very big contract this offseason. And with the way that the salary cap has been going, how much you think a Josh Giddey contract be right now? I seen some people say 200 million, but
No, he's not getting
that's
200 million.
asinine.
I would
That's
say
asinine.
4 for 120.
Okay. That's still a lot. I mean, but
Not
in
in
this
this market,
market, it's
no.
not. It's not.
It
But
sounds crazy, but in this market, it's really not. Fucking Emmanuel quickly got 190.
Right.
well, hold on. Emmanuel quickly got 190.
Yeah, he
Yeah, I
got
think he got like
190 from
190.
Toronto.
I think that was a big ass contract.
He got 190 from Toronto.
That's crazy.
Somebody wild as hell got a big contract, but then when you look at this shit, these contracts ain't as big as we would think because of the way things are right now. That's all I'm saying.
The
I
Celtics
don't
just
think
sold for
these, yeah.
$6.1 billion, bro. They got the money. Teams got the money.
Yeah, I get that. It's just weird when you see certain players get that amount, even though the market says that that's not bad. It just looks wild. Like Emmanuel quickly is just not supposed to get $190 million. Like even though in the market it's like okay, that's not that bad. It still just looks wild.
Nah,
I'm
that's still
sorry,
crazy. Nah, I don't care what
it
the
looks
market
wild.
is. Quickly for 190 is crazy.
Like 200 million for Josh Giddey is insanity. Like for me, like I get it, but I just don't like. For me, with as a Bulls fan, I have not watched a game in almost 3 years, front to back. I have not watched a Bulls game in almost 3 years. But from watching from afar and seeing this stuff and seeing highlights, it's kind of frustrating because I want to like the road to even a top 4 seed looks like it's years away. Like if you're saying we're not gonna go out there and spend money on free agency, okay, cool. But what's your plan? What's your plan? Like, are you just making a plan every year? Is that what you're trying to do? And the thing for Bulls ownership that's annoying, they're not gonna put any actual pressure on AK to do his job. They let John Paxson stay for 2 decades. So this is small compared to how long they let John Paxson. I actually think the AK is doing a way worse job than John Paxson ever did. And that's saying a lot because I thought he was god awful. So, and instead of thinking about competing for a championship, because I don't think it's going to happen in my lifetime as a Bulls fan again, what is there? Do you think a Matas and a Giddey can be like the pieces to eventually get that to when you were hosting a home court playoff series?
I mean, yeah. I mean, like again, we will see. I don't know. Like, we got to see how much Matas is like able to grow. Like, can he again? Didn't he just have like I think 38 points a few nights ago?
Yeah.
Like, we got to see if he can be a guy who can like give you 20. We got to see if Giddey can be a triple double threat every single night, which I think he already kind of is. But we got to see if his shot can get better. We got to see if Kobe White can be a 20-point per game guy. But if I got Kobe, I got Giddey, and I got Buzelis, and also I got Vucevic. That's a solid 4 pieces. Then you add in Dalen Terry with that. You again, they will still have a solid draft pick. One thing you can say about the Bulls is outside of the Patrick Williams pick, which I think that pick
terrible.
Yeah, but also that was a weird year, right? Like you didn't have March Madness, you didn't have a combine. Like that was a weird year. That was the COVID year. If you actually have all those things, Patrick Williams is probably a mid-lottery pick and not the 4th pick in the draft. He is also caught up in he looks like Kawhi Leonard, so draft him type thing. That like how PG been getting people drafted for a while, how KD been getting people drafted. Kawhi also gets people drafted.
Still mad at the Bulls for not getting Tyrese Halliburton. That's who I thought they was gonna get.
Again, if you have an actual March Madness that year, Iowa State may make the Sweet 16. He may have some moments, but you don't have that because it was a COVID year. So again, like I don't know. I don't really know how to answer that question, but I do think they have some genuine, fun young pieces moving ahead, and they don't really have any really bad contracts. Patrick Williams' contract is bad, but currently they don't really have. But it's not awful. It's 5 years, $90 million, but that 5 years, $90 million will be like a role player salary. Yeah, like that'll be a role player salary in like 2-3 years. So they don't really have any really bad contracts as well.
And Scott, I know me and you disagree on this. But I look at how AK is building the Bulls, how they built the Denver Nuggets. They didn't go out and get no massive star. Jokic was a 2nd-round pick who was drafted when a food commercial was on. They looked up on that. They traded Nurkic and got some pieces there. That team was literally built off of the late lottery going into the 20s. That's how that team was built. So when you look at the Bulls right now, that's damn near kind of how they were built. Mid to late lottery. Kobe was the 7th pick. Matas was the 10th pick. I won't say they lucked up on Matas because Matas was projected to be the number 1 pick before the year before he was drafted. So you have somebody talent-wise that people thought was going to be or had the potential to be at least a top 3 pick in the NBA draft. So you got that piece right there. Also, to think about is Billy Donovan. Like, look, Billy Donovan is, I don't want to call him a college coach, but Billy Donovan with young players, Billy Donovan with vets and shit. Just go look at what happened with Zach LaVine and shit. So this Bulls team is really playing to the strengths of the head coach that they have currently in place right now. And if they don't make it, hey, fuck around and get one of those top 3 picks. It's happened before. But I say all that to say, this is a Bulls team. I've watched enough games this year, not but enough to be like, yo, this is what we wanted them to do in the first place. We just wanted them to lose. We wanted them to be competitive and lose. But the fact that they're competitive and they're winning, and this draft is deep enough to where you can get somebody in this draft in at least the top 15 picks, either one of the stars at the beginning of it, or definitely give you some good depth on this team. I'm not mad at what I'm seeing, because if this team was as tough as we thought they were, they would not be in this position.
I agree with that. I need Adam Silver to freeze that envelope for your boy. Like
that he needs to do that.
Like you owe me, nigga. It's been a long time.
Don't.
You owe me.
He does not.
You
No,
owe
he
me.
don't.
Yes, he does owe
No,
me.
he don't. No,
he
don't.
owes
The
Bulls
number 1
fans.
pick is probably gonna go to Utah or some shit like that.
Like I said, he owes me. Why want to see that nigga go to Utah? I'm like,
You don't want to see him in Chicago. You want to see him.
The entire world rather see him in Chicago than Utah. Nobody outside of Utah wants to see that nigga in Utah.
I think it's a great story.
Nope, forget the story. The story would be getting the Bulls back to being relevant, nigga. That's a better story than the Utah Jazz. Like, and that's not even debatable. That's not even debatable. That's not even debatable, bro. How's that even debatable?
I think the more small market teams that feel like they have a chance to compete.
That's the NBA's problem now. Nobody cares about small markets.
But listen though, I think the more small market teams that have a chance to compete, a team like Utah, who when we were growing up, Utah was a model franchise. Shit, they made the playoffs for 20 years straight. They made the finals 2 times. Like, I think the more small market teams that are good, especially in that part of the country, I think it's a good thing. Especially
they about to freeze that joint for the Brooklyn Nets.
Or that.
I can see that, but see, that's a big market. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm anti-small market. Look, I understand that from a basketball perspective, the OKC Thunder versus Cleveland Cavaliers be a great series. But ain't nobody finna care. Them, even though ratings don't really matter, them ratings will be in the gutter. You know what people want? I'm gonna tell you what people want. People want Lakers Celtics. That's what niggas want. Give the people what they want. Like, you have LeBron, he's trying to get ring 5. Can Luka get ring number 1? Can the Celtics repeat? The rivalry, that's what people want to see. Now, the Bulls, definitely not in the same category as the Lakers or the Celtics, but this is the franchise that if you give them something, people are, it's still top 2 in merch. They've been number 1 in attendance for like a decade. Give them a star. That's all I'm saying. Like, give them a star. I understand it can help not Milwaukee. It can help Utah. It can help if he went to OKC or something like that. Forget them. Even if he goes to Brooklyn, that makes more sense because it's a bigger market. For the NBA is more on markets and players than any other league, in my opinion. That would help. And so if you take that, you telling me, let's just say the Bulls get lucky, they get a Bailey or Cooper Flag. You put them with a Josh Giddey and a Matas and a Kobe White. That's not fun to watch.
I mean, you put Cooper Flag on Utah, it's fun to watch.
Nobody cares. Nobody wants to see that nigga with Laurie. I don't want to see that.
I'm just saying, it's fun to watch.
And what, they're not even gonna make the play-in with that roster. Like, it's not gonna happen. Like, that's why I feel like
probably not.
They
in
need
2-3 years, maybe.
Adam Silver, you owe me. Okay, I have not been excited for Bulls basketball like legitimately in a decade.
I mean,
This
he
is
gave
this.
for Derrick Rose.
Yeah, that was a long time ago.
Excuse me, but that was one of the best gifts
It
in the
was.
history of gifts.
It was, but that gift was almost 20 years old. 20 years old
Okay,
now.
I'm just saying.
Which is insane, by the way.
It is crazy.
Which is insane. Derrick Rose, the 2008 draft will be 17 years ago.
Fuck.
In June. That is just crazy to me. He said Adam owns all Chicago. Yeah, man. But
so cool.
Triple double hat trick, I know the code too. Ice trade, go for trade, yeah we cold too. Getting paper on these player haters, old news. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line.